What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 4 of Project C06. I'm going to start off with taking delivery of the hood, and I wanted to record this and just get this on video because I've seen other guys do it and I just thought it was cool to actually catch the delivery truck and put it in your video. So there it is, and I finally got it into the house and was very pleased with the quality, and I could not wait to get this thing on. All right, I just pulled the hood off. There's the 4 bolts right there. And now I'm going to carefully attempt to put this carbon fiber hood on. So instead of waiting for help, I decided to try to put the hood on myself. And thankfully, I was able to do it without causing any damage. I got the hood on. I wasn't sure if I could do it myself, but I was able to do it and I did not destroy it in the process. So there we go. It's actually lined up pretty good. The hood installation went pretty smoothly. The quality was very good. The fitment was very good. So I didn't have many problems. And I was really happy with the quality. Had a really good finish on it. And here I'm just showing the different carbon fiber accents I have on the car at this particular point. Everything is looking good and everything is coming together. Project C06 is coming along nicely. We have the hood on, and of course we have the rear quarter panels. And something that I'm getting ready to do right now that you might not expect, I'm going to remove these rear quarter panels, trim them a little more to get them to fit better. Now on the passenger side, it's actually not that bad. If you look at the way the body line goes across the top here, it's actually pretty good. It does stick out just a tad right here, which I'm going to try to adjust. But it's not too bad, but I'm still going to take it off and adjust it. The driver's side, in my opinion, is pretty bad. So if you look here, you can see how it rises up pretty high right here and it doesn't go straight across. So this panel actually needs to be cut at the bottom so that it can go down further at the top. And also on the side, it sticks out too far right here. So again, I'm going to have to cut it here so that it goes closer to the body. So I need to make the adjustments at the top and bottom on this side. I'm going to make adjustments on the other side as well. And since I've already done it, it's going to be easier and quicker this time. But I'm still going to be very careful with these cuts because once you cut it, you can't put it back. I have the passenger side rear quarter panel off. And since this is my second time doing this, this must have took me less than a half hour. It's simple now that I know exactly what to do. And you see it sitting all the way down there. I'm going to cut it. Last time when I cut it inside the garage, there was just dust everywhere. So now I'm going to cut it outside of the garage and bring it in to test fit it. But this should be a much better fit than it was the first time that I put this on. Here is the finished product. I spent many hours pulling the quarter panels off, trimming them and putting them back on. I went back and forth, but I am really happy with the way it turned out. The alignment is much better and the panel gaps are much better. The worst side was the driver's side, where it actually came up very high right here and it came out from the body really far. But I got it trimmed out to where it's almost perfect. Like, it looks really good. So it was a lot of work, but I am now happy with the fitment of the quarter panels. And of course we have the hood on now. And one of the things that's cool about it is you can see part of the air intake. This is called the air bridge or the power duct, whatever you want to call it. And since it is visible through the hood, I went ahead and picked up the carbon fiber version with the Z06 logo on it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this swapped out. So not only do we have carbon fiber body panels, we have carbon fiber under the hood. The intake here is real carbon fiber, and so is the top of the air filter. So let's see what it looks like with the hood closed. All right, that is pretty cool. So I have the rear sway bar off of the Corvette. I've also removed the brackets and the bushings. I'm going to clean up the bushings, clean the brackets and the bar. The bar I'm going to paint red. The brackets I'm going to paint gold. I'm going to make sure everything is nice and clean. And also the end links. I have new end links, so these will be nice and new and shiny. So I'm going to get all this cleaned up, painted, put the new end links on, and this should, first off, it should improve the handling because the rear end links were actually bad. And also it's just going to look a lot nicer. So this is a simple project, not a whole lot of work, but it's going to make a nice difference in the look of the car. So I'm painting the rear sway bar bushing brackets with gold caliper paint. And I hit this with maybe 3 or 4 coats, and then I actually went over it with the clear. And it turned out very nicely. I was happy with the way the paint went down, and the clear had a nice gloss to it. So once I finished that, I went on to the rear sway bar, and you'll see me put a few coats on here. And I actually ended up putting on like 7 or 8. Just had poor coverage over this black paint, so I kept putting on coat after coat. But eventually I got a nice even coat to it, and I was happy with it. I actually had to let this dry for a couple days before I was able to put it on the car. After hours of cleaning and prep, the alternator is ready for paint. As you can see, I put paper towel inside. It took a long time to do, but we're making sure we don't get any paint on the internals of the alternator. And also, I've taped off the contact points here, and also on the underside where the alternator actually contacts the vehicle, because it needs to be grounded, and these will be the ground points. So it's finally time to start painting. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time, and I finally took the time to prep the alternator for paint. And I'm going to be using red caliper paint. The alternator is pretty much done. The paint went on really nicely. So I'm going to give it more time to dry, and then I'll pull off all of the tape and pull out the paper from the inside. And while I was at it, I painted the rear sway bar. That's still drying, but I had some extra paint, and I guess I kind of started to get carried away, but I had some extra paint. So not only did I paint the rear sway bar red, I painted the belt tensioner red. So this is drying, and once everything is good and dry, I'll get it back on the Corvette. Here are the old bushings, and here are the new ones. These are polyurethane bushings, and of course we have the brackets that I painted, and it'll go like that on the car for the rear sway bar. And these bushings also come with the grease, and they do have an opening in the bottom, so that's going to make it much easier to install. All right, here's the look underneath the Corvette. We can see the rear sway bar painted along with the brackets and the new red polyurethane bushings, and also the new rear sway bar links. All right, so under the hood, we can see the alternator installed, our air filter. I'll swing around to the other side. You can see the tensioner pulley and also the bracket on the power steering reservoir. So those are all of the things that I painted under the hood. Came together really nicely, looks really good. And also I replaced this coolant expansion tank because it had a hole in it. That video is actually on the channel. That's a how-to tutorial, so if you need to change yours, go ahead and check that out. So here is where I want to leave off episode 4. There's been a lot of work done to the Corvette, and if I put everything in one video, this thing could be 45 minutes long. So I'm going to go this far, and guys, stay tuned because there's so much footage that's been recorded. As soon as I edit, you'll have episode 5. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Check out the entire playlist, and as usual, God bless you all.